Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Susanna here today for Bella Boulevard to share with you this multi-photo cat layout created with the Meow collection and some Bella Besties. So I'm not sure if you know, but with every Bella Boulevard collection, there is also a release of, I'm going to say quote unquote patterned paper because it's really tone-on-tone cardstock of Bella Besties that is released with the collection. So I am going to use the Graph and Dot Orange and the Graham and Stripes Ice that come with this. I'm using teal and orange or ice and orange as my primary colors for this layout. So you can see I've just kind of random cut, I'm going to say loose cut those strips from edges of the paper, and this is actually something that I prefer to do with scraps of paper to line the edge, the border of a 12 by 12 piece of paper, but as this collection is fairly new and I've only used it once, I don't have these papers in scraps, so I'm just going to go ahead and do what I wanted to do with it. And now I am cutting some of the strips because I actually want to fussy cut bits of the heart as well as the love, I think it says 4 times, and the collar tags. So I had cut that 4 by 4 piece because I thought that I would back the cut file, but I decide that if I'm going to back one of them, I have to back a few of them, and I just decided that I actually really like the tone-on-tone, and you'll notice that I do that a lot with the digital cut files. So what I'm doing here is I know I'm working with the teal and the orange, so I'm just putting random strips along all of the edges of the border of the page there, and I'm looking to overlap a few of them. I'm looking for some of them to be taller than others, and I don't want a straight border per se. So I didn't originally cut this. That is also from the Meow collection, but I really like the contrast that it adds to the page. So I am going to go with my initial gut instinct and actually include that. So you can see that I'm using both sides of the Bella Besties pattern paper there. So I've got dots and then that sort of loose grid graph on one side, and then I've got the gingham and then the stripes on the other side. So it gives a little bit more variety to the options that I have there. So literally going to do this going all the way around the page and then incorporate those loves with the paws for the O's at the top and the bottom of the page, largely because of directionality. I could have done them on the side, but then they would not have been, I mean, you can still read them, but I like to be able to read without standing on my head per se. So I pulled aside some of the elements from the embellishment collection. You can see that cat and the flower and the heart there. And then I've got this sticker. I do this a lot. I pull off a sticker and I'm like, I really want to use that, but I don't really want to use it right away. So it just kind of hangs out on my finger until I figure where it's going to go, kind of like that. And that just says Sleepy because this cat is a napper, but aren't most cats nappers? She has her moments where she definitely gets the zoomies, but otherwise she likes to hang out in boxes. And this is a new box for her. This was my husband's birthday cake box. And when you opened it up all the way, it was the perfect length for her to unfold and sit on all 4 haunches, which she likes to do. So different, a new to her box. So there is the border finished all the way. And then I'm going to speed this up because this is called speed gluing, using liquid glue to adhere the cut file. I really like using liquid adhesive with a metal tip because that way I can just quickly get it all done before the adhesive dries. It also doesn't make it all super sticky and tacky and my fingers get stuck to it. So literally just gonna center that, and I know it doesn't stand out, but I like the way that it's boxy to go with the box that she is sitting in, and then the somewhat grid that I end up forming with the square photos. So that top photo that I put down is 4x4, and then these smaller photos, the two smaller photos, are 2.5 by 2.5. And of course, you have to use the Bella Pop of the cat sitting in the box because it's a cat sitting in a box, right? I'm not usually one to put the cats with the cats embellishments because she is a cat. Do I need any more cats? No, not really, but it's so cute. You just can't not. So I want to use those 3 collar charms. I'm going to fussy cut those, swap out my big scissors for little ones. It's so much easier to fussy cut, y'all, with A, sharp scissors, and B, smaller ones. So that's why I swapped out my scissors. But I'm just going to fussy cut those now while I am fussy cutting, pardon me, Susanna Lee, and I will get to the actual putting together of that a little bit later. Sometimes for me, when I'm designing, it's easier to just go with what I'm going with and then come back to it because my brain can only multitask so much, especially as I get older. Anyway, so what started the fussy cutting, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. What started the fussy cutting was that heart, knowing that I wanted to put the heart in the heart from the cutouts. But in the meantime, I am going to work on the title so I can decide where that heart is going to go. I'm using the Chow Chips Happy, knowing that the rest of the title is going to come and it's going to say Happy in a box. And I will get some letter scrambles, which are also Bella Besties. They do not come in the Bella Besties collection, however. Those are from my stash, but I highly recommend them. So those will come to later on in the process. So in the meantime, I have my doohickey stickers, and I'm going to use these corners. I love these photo corners, and I'm going to pop them up and just put them on the diagonal there across the photos, just a little more color to add some contrast to. The photos are kind of dark. You can see there's quite a bit of black in them, and so they need just a little bit more pop of color to pop the photos. And in doing so, I really think that it also pops the white on white contrast of the cutout there. So I have, what do I have? The heart. And because I want it to, I could have stitched it, but by just putting a line of glue and then folding up the edges a little bit, it gives it just a little bit of dimension of that heart in heart over there. And then it's a cat thing sticker. I mean, it's such a cat thing, right? I don't think dogs like to snap in boxes the way that cats do at all. Both of our cats, all of the cats that we have ever had, have always been fascinated with boxes. So now I have these puffy stickers. And did you know that cat toes are called toe beans? I had no clue. But looking at these stickers makes total sense, right? I mean, I've been a cat owner for years and years and years. And yeah, toe beans. Yeah, a little bit of trivia for you there. Most of you probably already knew that, but hey, got to learn something new. Keep us alive. Keep us motivated, right? All right, so toe beans, paws, cat paws, puppy stickers. Gonna go ahead and use those. Again, I put the orange ones next to the teal, and then the teal ones on the orange, just providing that color contrast. I know these are supposed to be folded over, but I didn't want the green, and I really liked that it was the color combo that I was working with, so I just cut it up, rounded the top of that sticker there, and stuck it on the top of the photo. And another phrase sticker, always cat napping. I mean, yeah. Yep. Two very cat things, napping and boxes. So I've got my little We Are Memory Keeper hole, but I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread a needle and then thread the crochet thread through that, and it was going to work a whole lot better. And it's really hard on that super small hole in the We Are Memory Keepers punch to see what you're doing. So I'm just going to thread those through the needle, tie a knot, and I wish I'd left them loose instead of sticking them down, but they're stuck and I'm not going to remove the adhesive, so I'm going to leave them the way that they are. But they're the same colors as the collection that I'm working with, as well as phrases that are definitely relevant to Jasmine, this particular of the two cats that we have there. And I like the way it just sort of fills that box there and complements the rest of the layout. So the thread is, or the crochet thread, yep, is loose on there. I am still trying to find adhesive that I like. I'm on an adhesive quest. So these are the scrambles that I was referring to earlier. They're the orange ones. So I'm going to use 2 of the multiple different types available on the sticker sheet. You can see I got the box letters, and then I'm using the other letters there to complete the title. And that is going to wrap it up, my friends. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.